Welcome back. This is Dawson Odoms here from A.W. Mumford Stadium, second floor in his main office. We're just hanging out today, just really recapping spring football, talking to our offensive side of the ball. I have with me none other than Chennis Berry. I tell you, we've been together 7 years. 7 years we have been together, and it's outstanding because I think I'm not only with my offensive coordinator, but I think I'm with a friend for life. And it's good to have Coach Berry here. When you talk about offensive football, I think since he's been the offensive coordinator, we've averaged almost at least 30 or more points a game. And that says a lot about this time and age in offensive philosophy and scoring points. But we know that could not happen unless our offensive line was very productive. And we're talking about one of the better offensive line coaches in the country. That's NFL, that's college, that's high school, that's middle school, that's Pee-wee. There's nobody better than Chennis Berry Jr. So I'm excited to be sitting here with you, Coach. And Coach, tell us about that 7 years. They done went by and we done accomplished a lot of things, but we're still here.
Coach, we're here. We're rocking and rolling. Coach, I tell you what, it's been 7 here. But it's actually been 9, Coach, because remember, we coached 2 years together in another place.
That's been together 9 years. That's a long time,
It's a long time, Coach, man. But I tell you what, it's been a great ride, Coach. Won a lot of football games, molded a lot of young men, watched a lot of young men grow, and won a couple championships. So we're fired up about that. But just super excited about where we're headed with the program, and look forward to a great 2019 season.
Well, Coach, we're going to get right into football. Okay, guys, I'm here. You know, I never get a chance to do this, so I get to do it on the radio. Hey, Junior, we gonna get right into this, okay? Because I know that's what his brother always say, you know. So I feel like that's my brother. So today we go talk to Junior. We gonna get Junior live and kicking on the radio. You know, tell us a little bit about what's the O-line segment improved on this spring.
Tell you what, Coach, one of our main objectives going into the spring was to establish some quality depth as well as some competition. And I think we accomplished that. You know, we're having 5 or 6, really we have 6 returning starters, because if you throw in the 5 that's returning, then you throw in Mason Sims, who started a lot as well since he's been here, you got 6 returning starters. So one of my things I wanted to do this spring is establish some depth and get those guys competing. And I really think we accomplished that this spring. We rotated several different starting lineups with some 1s and 2s mixed in together to try to see if we can establish some competition amongst the group. And I think that we really did that. And there's some guys that I'm really excited about with that second group that really going to push for a position this upcoming training camp. And I think it's going to get real hot and heated come August when it's time to rock and roll for 2019 season.
Well, Coach, I tell you, that offensive line has been a steady group of performers when you talk about Jaguar offense, and that's because of you, Coach. I watch how you pour into these young men from a coaching standpoint. I watch how you pour into them from a mentor standpoint, and also as a father figure. And I think in college football, that's sometimes something that we don't look at when we're talking about other coaches. But I know how passionate you are about O-line play, but I know how passionate you are about the young man that are in your room. And I think when you put that passion together, you get what the product is that you see at Southern University. I think that's why those guys play so hard for you, because they know you care about them. And I think that's one of the ingredients you gotta know, that as a coach and as a player, that they gotta know you care about them, and you've done a great job of that. Coach, we go into this and we start looking at getting ready for the next phase, and we start talking about the depth chart. You know, how would you see the depth chart playing out?
I tell you what, I think we're pretty solid with our ones. Those guys have played a lot of snaps. You're talking about guys been starting since really 2016. So they've played a lot of snaps. So I think that we have established a pretty solid one group. But I'll tell you what, it's going to get really, really interesting in camp, because some of those 2 guys with Brian Williams and Mason Sims and Dallas Black and I tell you what, Kennedy Madison has really gotten well as Maurice Campbell. I tell you, those guys, they're going to really push for playing time, not only just get a chance to play, but I think they're going to get in the rotation, and I think that's going to help us as a whole. But now we can rotate O-linemen instead of, those guys can get some quality reps and they can go full speed and take some wear and tear off those guys, because you can play multiple guys.
Coach, you say Dallas Black. Coach, I remember when Dallas Black couldn't snap the ball and, he snapped it left. It looked like we was playing military football back there. But I am in 100% agreement with you that Dallas Black has probably taken so many steps forward in his college career. And I was saying it earlier about some other players, Coach. Our walk-on process here has allowed guys to come and play and be a part of this program. And it's all about having patience, because we know that, especially with the offensive line, it takes time to develop. You're not always going to get a guy that's ready to play right out of high school. But I done seen Dallas Black work, Coach. I done seen him work in the weight room. I see the time he spent working on his snaps out the practice. And I think when you get that kind of work ethic, it's no reason why you can't see why he was the most improved guy in spring. And I'm happy for him, and I know you are too, because you can see leaps and bounds the steps that Dallas Black has taken in this program.
Super, super excited about Dallas Black. He is our most improved offensive lineman for this spring. Dallas Black came from McMain High School. He come through our walk-on program. He's from New Orleans, Louisiana. And I tell you what, I coached Dallas Black hard. And I've coached him hard and hard and hard. And I tell you what, every day he comes back ready to work. And he's really, really grown, where to the point now I really trust him. He's had an amazing spring. He works his butt off in the classroom, in the weight room, in study hall. He's a great product of our program, and he's going to be a great ambassador as we continue to go forward. But I tell you what, he has really grown. I trust him to put him out there. He's worked on his pad level, his snaps, his attention to detail, his communication, all that has improved. And I'm excited about Dallas Black. Like it's to the point now where that I tell them all the time, you know, I believe in coaching them hard, and I believe in you coach them hard, you'll get the most out of them. But I also believe in giving them sugar when they need to be, when sugar needs to be given to them. You have to love them up and let them know when they're doing some good things. But Dallas Black had the best spring by far of all our offensive linemen. And in this offense with our center position, I put a lot on them. They have to know the offense like I know it. And a lot of communication comes from those guys. I call the plays from the press box, so a lot of times in between series, I'll talk to the center to make sure they're communicating, everybody's on the same page. But Dallas Black is somebody that we're super, super excited about. He's going into his redshirt sophomore year. He'll have 3 more years to play, and we're excited about the growth of Dallas Black in our program.
Couldn't have put it no better, Coach. The center of our communication, Dallas Black. A year ago, we would have never thought that. But it goes to show you that when you put great coaching with a great work ethic, you can get a product of success. And we're so glad for Dallas Black, but we're so grateful for Junior here to be with us talking with us about O-line play, and you can hear the passion. And to me, that's what it's all about, is that I've been able to sit right here beside my brother on the Dawson on the Radio show and talk about O-line play and how great it's been since we've been here together and recapping this spring. Coach, any surprises that may have stood out, you know, going through this spring?
I tell you what, you know, most guys, they come in as freshmen, you know, they want to come play. You know, you go all over the country. You know, you talk to high school guys, Coach, I'm coming in and playing as a freshman. But it's a big learning curve. Not only is it a big learning curve coming in as a freshman, it's a physical curve, you know, thing you have to do, be able to compete on the college level, especially when you're talking about O-line play. But one guy I'm really excited about is one of our true freshmen that's doing an amazing job, and that's Bernard Childs. He really grew this spring, and he was a surprise to me because we brought him in at center initially, and then we moved him over to guard, and he's really grown this spring. And he's probably my most pleasant surprise in a positive way. But I think more than anything, Coach, I think our two deep. Yeah. It really made me happy this spring. That was a great, pleasant surprise. Our two deep really sometimes play better than our ones, you know, with our number 2 offensive line. And those guys with, again, Dallas Black, I'll talk about him again. He did an amazing job. Mason Sims, Maurice Campbell, who really come a long way in his redshirt freshman year. He's a big 6'6" tackle, 330 pounds, just really twitchy and athletic, and he can do some good things, but he's gotten better. Kennedy Madison, the guy that we got came in last spring and really took a little time to learn what we're doing, but he has that twitch and athletic ability that we're looking for at tackle as well. And Brian Williams, I tell you what, he really played really well at both guard positions, at left guard and right guard. So I think we've developed some quality depth. And you know, in this game of football, whether it's on any level, if you got good depth in the trenches with O-line and D-line, you got a chance to win some football games. So we're excited about that more than anything as far as pleasant surprises. With Bernard Childs, a true freshman, and then our second offensive line really had a great spring.
We tell y'all guys, I think when you hear it, first of all, it should surprise you that we're FCS and we're lower than FBS. In order for us to be able to have a 2 deep that we're comfortable with playing on Saturdays, it says a lot about Junior, our coach of that offensive line. And you know, Junior, you've done a good job of just being able to mold young men, you know, and you know, we're here and I'm just sitting here and I'm listening. I'm like, man, we got possibly 10 offensive linemen that we could rotate in. And how much better are we going to be when we get to the conference season, once these guys get some game reps under their belt, and just having that depth, because we know if you lose the wrong offensive lineman, it can really set you back. Mm-hmm. But we're doing a great job, and you're doing an outstanding job of Coach Berry of getting these guys where they need to be and doing the things they need to do. But you don't get to see it on a day-to-day basis. There's no greater molder of men when you talk about offensive linemen than Coach Berry. He's done it for so many years now, and together 9 for us. And I've been able to see it from sitting across from him as the D-line coach and also as the head coach working with him. I understand the time and hours spent to get these young men to get a degree, to get them lined up, to get them to snap the ball to the quarterback, to get them stepping in the right place. That's why I say it's no better offensive line coach in the country to me than the one that I have working with me every day, known as Berry Jr. So, Coach, I just want to say that I'm appreciative and I'm grateful to have you beside me. Off-season outlook, big coach. I tell you what, we get ready to go into this off-season. What can you tell us about this offensive line as we get ready to go into the off-season and the off-season outlook and some things that we can do to get better?
I tell you, the sky's the limit for the group. I think, the game of football, and coaching is about trust. And I think we're developing some good trust amongst one another. It's got to be coach-to-coach trust, coach-to-player trust, and player-to-coach trust. And developing trust amongst that group is really, we've come a long way, because now I feel really, really strong about the depth that we have at that position. So we're super, super, super duper excited about what we want to do. We got to continue to gel as a unit. I think if we continue to gel and hold each other accountable on the field, in the classroom, in study hall, in the weight room, I think if we can continue to gel and build that brotherhood as an O-line family, as the Nickle family, I think the sky's the limit for this group. I just really think we got a chance to be really, really good up front with some quality depth, some returning starters, as well as some guys that's going to really compete for some positions.
Well, I tell you, Coach, you gotta like having 6 returning starters. You gotta like the room, and I think as a head coach, when I sit back and I say, as you look at this team, what are our strengths? What I think we can hang our hat on, and I think for forever, Coach, since we've been here, we've been hanging on that offensive line. Like, no matter who leaves or is somebody ready to step in, and by us getting that second group ready, we know we got some seniors that are going to depart, but we got some guys ready to step up and continue to be successful. So, again, thank you for the hard work and dedication you put in to not only just being the offensive coordinator, but also being the O-line coach. And we're going to get better and work on some things this summer. As we go into the summer, Coach, what are some things you would say we need to work on as an offensive line?
I'll tell you one of the biggest things is conditioning. We're some biggins. With Jodeci Harris, he's a big man, 6'8", 340 plus pounds. And you got Jeremiah Abbey, he's another big man, 6'4", 340 plus pounds. And Mason Sims, 6'4", 340 plus pounds. We got to work on their conditioning and get them in tip-top shape, and we're going to work hard together at that. And I think if we can do that, I think we'll be heading in the right direction. Also, I think just consistency in our footwork. Offensive line play, a lot of times you talk about you want O-linemen with good feet, but it starts with their footwork. Everything is on their departure angle. So we got to have more consistency on why we're doing certain things with certain footwork, whether it's our pass set, our departure angles on inside zone, whatever it may be. We got to make sure that we improve and hone in on our footwork all this offseason. Footwork. And the next thing, we want to make sure we're playing with better pad level. We're some big men. We're long, and which is a good thing, but we also have to be able to play with Z in our knee and play with amazing bend. So we're going to work on our hip flexibility as well as our ankle flexibility all this offseason to make sure we improve in that. And last but not least, just become more students of the game. You know, it's never enough time, and not enough time in a day where you can not study film. You want to study film, you want to watch film, you want to know your opponent, you want to be able to train your eyes. You know, sometimes they talk about quarterback playing, training your eyes, but you got to train your eyes at every position. You know, where are you looking at? What are you seeing? You know, and with the experience that we have, it shouldn't be anything. Those guys done played against University of Georgia, TCU. They done played against some of the top teams in our conference and all over America. It's not a front, a pressure, a coverage that they hadn't seen. So we want to continue to just build on being a student of the game, and we just want to work on just becoming more brotherhood, you know, as a Nickle family. And I think if we can do that and really maximize this summer, our 8 to 9 week program this summer, I think the sky's the limit for the 2019 season.
As we finish up the recap for the spring with our offensive line, you get a chance to sit here and you get a chance to listen to Chennis Berry Jr. talk about how the passionate display of offensive line play and what it's going to take for us to become successful. But for you all that's going to be listening to this that may not be Jaguar fans, maybe you're an AD somewhere, don't contact Chennis Berry if you're not sincere about giving him a head coaching job, because he's earned his due, he's put in his time, and now is his time. But, you know, it's amazing how some schools call that are not sincere about giving this young man an opportunity. And Junior, they're going to be calling you. They're going to be calling you, and they're going to be calling to be sincere, because y'all been hiring offensive coordinators. There's not really been a lot of coordinators in FCS have been more successful than the one we have here at Southern University and Chennis Berry Jr. So if you're going to pick up the phone, pick up and be sincere about what you want to talk about on the other end, or don't waste the Jags' time. Next up for us will be our running back coach, Ashton Warner, as we come in and get ready to continue to recap our offense this spring.
Go Jags!
Go Jags!
My man.